Hello and welcome to part 3 of my Let's Play Disco Elysium. Elysium. I'm gonna keep saying Elysium. Last time we left off, we were investigating the apartment buildings. Deepside apartments. And we had just turned in our quest for the old lady. Yeah. Let's just jump straight back into it. A little bit of a later stream tonight. I'm gonna still try to make a decent amount of progress if I can. Did you receive a task at the tail end of... Oh. Wait, is audio working? Okay, cool. Alright, look around the balcony. He's in apartment 28. What's back here? Oh, this is the hole. The sea below looks cold and winter gray. Someone has torn down the wall. An old grocery list on the table and checks. What happened here? You can't foreclose on an apartment with a hole in the wall. It will still be accessible through the apartment next to it. That one didn't have a door. Sadly, nothing of great value remains here. There's always a little something in the fridge. Indeed. Where does this exit at? Inside the frame of a motorcycle in repair and the tools used to disassemble it. Deepside apartments. Rue de San. Backyard wall. There's a wall on the side of an apartment building. Why am I looking at this wall? You have no clue. It's just a wall. So many walls all over Martinet, weather-worn, cracked, their paint peeled. Docking is for residents of the place. The room in the whirlwind isn't much bigger than... This is worth more than you'll ever earn in all your life. We have a task to talk to her. I feel like we do. Joyce Messier. Striking woman leans against the cabin top of her sailing boat, smiling as you approach. Her green raincoat glistens with droplets. A silk scarf is tied around her throat.
Good afternoon, officers. I'm Joyce.
She extends her hand in a greeting.
Joyce L. Messier. I represent the board
Messier.
of Wild Pines, the owners of the harbor. You gentlemen must be from the RCM.
Steps closer and holds out her hand over the railing. What gave us away?
Nothing, honestly. I've said it to every drunk in town, and you're the first one who's responded.
Relax. She meant it in jest.
I'm glad to see you here.
Her grip is tight and cold.
I was dispatched to handle a strike, not a lynching. Anything I can do to assist the RCM in this matter, I will, gladly.
That is good to hear, madame. My colleague will take the lead in this interview. I should let you know that he is recovering from an unusual medical episode. Very unusual. But I can assure you of his ultimate competency.
How interesting. I wish you a swift recovery. In the meanwhile, you have my full cooperation and the full cooperation of the Wild Pines group.
Tell me about Wild Pines. What do you do? What we do. I'm afraid I don't speak for Wild Pines as a whole. It's a giant undertaking. But what do they do? The Pines' core competency is logistics, container shipping, freight, that sort of thing. He points to the small dots on the horizon. See those airships there blinking? Those are the shipping side of things. Then to the east toward the harbor, and that is the terminal. Another subdivision deals with energy. She points to then toward the harbor, and that is the terminal. Another subdivision deals with energy, oil and gas exploration, offshore platform. The Wild Pines group is one of the original Revachol Indo-tribes. Companies awarded royal monopolies by the king, the suzerain himself, centuries ago. The king is long gone, and several of the Indo-tribes remain. Who are the other Indo-tribes? Saint Baptiste, Lum, an unknown entity known as Brightest Star. You're in good company, it seems. Why, thank you. She does not register the real meaning of the remark. How much money does Wild Pines have? I'm not at liberty to discuss the company balance sheet, but I can tell you that last year the company booked more than 20 billion real in revenue. A billion? Numbers like that mean nothing to me. Yes, past a certain point, numbers begin to seem imaginary. But they are quite real for the 72,000 employees who depend on Wild Pines for their paychecks. A conglomerate the size of Wild Pines is like a shark. It stops moving and growing, it will die. Then what becomes of those 72,000 families? It is a tremendous responsibility. Where does Wild Pines get all these billions? They started in as an exploration and cargo fleet, conducting trade between the Samaran and Insolidian Isolas. 250 years ago, when Pine's ships explored the South Simony and charted Low Manthing on behalf of the suzerain. Centuries of care, deliberation, and madness have gone into this endeavor. Vessels pass through the great unrest to re-emerge with apricots in tow. The logic of the system is totalizing. It's taken everything from its employees to build it. It probably helps to start out with a royal monopoly. You know more than you let on. She takes a sip and looks you over afresh. Certainly it helped, but most of the original Indo tribes have failed or been absorbed. To survive, wild pines had to grow and adapt. No Suzerain did. What does such a huge system want with a place like this? You mean aside from being the terminal's legal owners? She gives you a little smile. Who are responsible for moving 8% of the world's cargo? You don't keep it moving, the workers do. The company is nothing without them. We built this district. All the best parts of it. Rue de Saint-Ghislain, with its bastions, the plaza's Medioran mosaic, even some of the old street lamps have been put back thanks to investments from the WP. He points behind you where the seawall rises. Before Martinez was swallowed by the industrial harbor, even before it was part of Revachol, long before Terminal B was erected here, the Pines built it as a resort for its Revacholian employees. A company getaway for a weekend or a summer holiday. Then came the revolution, but that's another matter. He takes a sip. I'm here to make sure the Pines can fulfill their responsibilities to the place they built. With your help, hopefully, does her warm tone. You're on a boat. Why, yes, I am. He looks at the dock under her feet. Green and white sails flutter overhead. Does she have a name? The boat? No. It is called Cordelite 19 because that's the type of sloop it is. The word "it" feels strange. Such a beautiful boat deserves a proper name. Cool, but your boat really needs a name. Okay, how about Cordelite 19? Why? Taps on the side of the boat. It makes a hollow sound. Because it was manufactured in Revachol East by a company called Cordelite, and its hull is 19 paces long. How about the sleek fish? What? Because it's sleek, fish-like. The smirk passes her face. I think I'll stick with the factory name. Thank you. How do you like it? My sloop? I like it a lot. Her lips curl in a wry smile. It's the eel's hips, baby. I'm enjoying this part of the interview. It has so little to do with the murder we're investigating. I really do, the lieutenant thinks. Is she thrown off yet? He's looking at the woman, assessing her. Oh right, he told me to ask weird stuff. Not a lot of people on boats, are there? Of course there are. She looks around you. We're on an archipelago. How else are you supposed to get around? Wait, we're on an archipelago? Yes, we are. She raises a brow. We're on Le Caillou. Caillou? I thought we were in Revachol. We are, and the city of Revachol is on the island of Le Caillou. Still, I haven't seen anyone else sail a boat around here. I haven't seen anyone else drive a souped-up Capri Canima motor carriage either. Actually, the lieutenant becomes defensive. That motor carriage has been specially issued to serve as a patrol and pursuit vehicle. It's for crossing long distances in the greater Revachol industrial harbor. It's not a toy. Neither is this. The woman pats the cabin hardtop. A toy, I mean. It's a machine for crossing long distances in the Bay of Revachol, between the city and the islands. Do you have a license for this boat? Officer, I assure you I'm a highly qualified pleasure craft operator. The crowns of her teeth are porcelain, wide as the boat's hull as she smiles. Qualified pleasure craft operator. So charming. Where's the damn license? Can I see your license? I just renewed its safety inspection last month, officer. It is completely seaworthy. In fact, it's taken part in not one, but 2 insolendic regattas. Even finished once. Still need to see a license. Actually, you don't. What do you mean? The Wayfarer Act specifically denies the RCM the authority to demand anyone's operator. The little-known fact among us law officials. Wait, how little known is this fact? I was just being polite. Even school children know the Wayfarer. Okay, forget the stupid Wayfarer Act. I had another question. About the boat, a wisp of steam rises from her thermal cup. I think I have a handle on the boat thing. Good. What can you tell me about this strike? Everything, she smiles. Right up to, but not including, trade secrets. Wait, what if I want to hear about trade secrets? First, you'd have to repeal the Emergencies Act of Trade and Ailments that gives me the right to silence. It's quite the octopus. An octopus? I will slay it. Good luck. It's only kept in place by the vested interests of half the civilized world, including your own. What the man means is that the Emergencies Act and the RCM both get their authority from the coalition government. You'd be shooting yourself in the foot, in other words. But I am derailing us. You wanted to know about the strike. What is your role in this precisely? I believe the official title is Senior Labor Negotiator. In practice, I'm a grocery clerk. I relay the union's demands to Wild Pines and return with Wild Pines' counteroffer. And how are the talks going? They're not. That's the problem. The union stopped all negotiations a week ago, after that awful lynching took place. Now they won't even let me into the harbor. There's a 2.2-meter racist behemoth blocking the gates. Tell us more about this behemoth. What can I say? The union employs a giant covered in tattoos. She pauses. A racist giant. I guess that's part of their big tent organization. How were the talks going before the lynching? Let's say I was not making the kind of progress I'd hoped for when I first arrived. And when did you first arrive? I arrived 3 weeks ago, she thinks. Yes, in the middle of February. The bay was still partially frozen then. I prefer to do these things on site, like the RCM. He looks at his notes. But the strike began in December. I wasn't the original negotiator here. I took over after Mr. Gaumont hit a wall with Mr. Clare, the union boss. Mr. Clare refused to speak with Gaumont, despite concessions he'd granted the union in prior negotiations. This isn't the first time the union has gone on strike? Heavens no, there have been 2 prior strikes. Both times the union won significant concessions, including overtime pay and a medical plan. This time, their demands are more, I guess you could say, aggressive. What happened to this Gaumont? Mr. Clare told him to, how did he put it? He pauses to compose herself. Fuck off, midget. Gaumont is short of stature, you see. Okay then. Yes, keep in mind, this is a negotiator Mr. Clare has worked with before and who was more than fair with him and the union. What are their demands? There are leaflets everywhere and banners. What did they say again? Oh, yes. Every worker a member of the board. Most of the workers probably don't know what that means. Seems like they have no idea about business. In its defense, another said, demand democracy. Pretty tame compared to every worker a member of the board. What does that even mean? It's quite simple, you see. Every time the Wild Pines group makes a decision about about anything, really, it needs the signature of each of the 2,200 workers in its Martinet. Just so you understand, this is but one of the 22 terminals owned by Wild Pines. Essentially, not only are they kings of the company, they are also kings of the 72,000 employees of Wild Pines Group. The king is dead. Long live the workers. That may well be. It's not up to me to decide who is king, but as negotiations go, it's not a swell start. What are you going to do? I'm not sure. Naturally, I assumed that was just their opening position, a hard-nosed tactic with a side of mockery. But there's been no follow-up, just the same nonsensical slogan repeated over and over again. And now people are getting lynched, I hear. Behind the whirling in rags, a disastrous situation if there ever was one. Excuse me, the lieutenant looks up from his notes. From whom did you hear about this lynching? Her reply comes quick. I first heard about it from the boya at the gates, the one whose very name advertises his aversion to work. I think he said it was Palmi Manana. This checks out. Scabs at the gate. Did you put them there? The scabs? She raises her brow. You mean the huddles of masses of Jamrock come to plead for work where the Union refuses to? If they were organized by Wild Pines or its affiliates, then it would be a company secret. I could not share it with you, not right now at least. It's implied she's open to discussing this matter with you at a later occasion. Tell me about this Union boss, Mr. Clare. Evrart Clare is a man of the utmost integrity. If you can say one thing about him, it's that he always puts the interests of the workers first. Really? Of course not. Evrart is fantastically corrupt. I imagine he has a thick, viscous goo where you and I have blood. He can't be that bad. He is the most corrupt individual I have ever seen, and I deal with men like him for a living. If there's anyone more venal, more irredeemably nepotistic, then it's his twin brother Edgar. Wait, there are two of them? Yes, Edgar looks exactly like his brother, except for that lazy eye. He also talks exactly like Evrart does, and when one's term as foreman is up, then the other takes over. It's how they circumvent the term limits, you see, with a funny little switcheroo. While in office, they've embezzled God knows how much of their workers' dues. What about the Union itself, outside the Brothers Clare? The Debardeurs Union was once a perfectly normal institution. 20 years ago, anyway. It must not have been easy to establish under the Emergency Act, but they did it. I can respect that. She adjusts her hair. Organized labor at its best, as they say. Then something happened in the local chapter elections. The Brothers Clare came transformed it into, how do you say, she hesitates, looking for the right expression. A mob, the lieutenant says succinctly. The Debardiers, I don't know, are a crime syndicate. Sad as it may be, we're forced to cooperate with them. Refreshingly honest, officer, she nods. The company has tried appeasing in the past, but I'm afraid our concessions have only emboldened Evrart and his brother. He turns to you. In your opinion, detective? If I may ask, I'm a curious and talkative person, he explains. Would you say the Debardiers is... an effective advocate for the rights of local working? Why do you think so? Her voice is calm. There is only curiosity there. They're good labor men. Can't fault them for a little corruption. Ah, she throws her hair back. A real man of the left. What else can I tell you about? One more thing. You said something happened in the elections? I'm glad you asked. There was a woman, the previous forewoman of the union. She disappeared. Disappeared? Yes, on the last day of the local chapter elections, her daughter phoned in and said she wasn't running or coming to work, ever. End of story. Eerie. Downright haunting, if you ask me. The Wild Pines suspected foul play, but what could they do? It was a union matter. The point of the presentation is these kinds of things happen around the Clares. Watch out when dealing with them. Thank you for your concern, ma'am. We'll be just fine. That's all I need here. Let's change the topic. Of course. How else can I help? What can you tell me about this lynching? Quite a few things, I'm afraid. She falls silent for a moment, contemplating something. The information I'm about to share with you includes sensitive trade secrets. For the sake of my employer, I have to ask for your names and badgement. Of course, ma'am, we should have introduced ourselves. The lieutenant hands her a piece of blue plastic. I'm Lieutenant Kitsuragi from Precinct 57. He points to you, and this is my colleague from Precinct 41. I'm afraid he doesn't have his badge at the moment. I hope mine will suffice. How curious. He returns the lieutenant's badge and turns to you. Why is that, detective? Awkwardness washes over the conversation. The woman doesn't like this turn of events. Remember when my partner told you I'd recently suffered from an unusual medical episode? My lost badge is related to it. I see. He looks increasingly worried. So are you saying you lost your badge during the course of this episode? It's possible. I could have eaten it for all I know. I don't remember anything. This world, this city, nothing. Oh dear. He sighs with compassion, sadness even. I suppose this does explain some of the more curious turns in our conversation. He must have been suspecting something for a while now. As I said, ma'am, the lieutenant interjects. His technique may be very unconventional, but he is an officer of the RC. Of course, I sympathize, but I'm afraid I simply can't share anything more until I've seen that badge. Hang on, she's a professional negotiator. He should be open to some sort of mutually beneficial arrangement. What kind of arrangement would it be? I mean favors for favors. A dirty alliance of... Consider this. Perhaps she has been planning it all along, that you convinced yourself into colluding with her. How do I negotiate my way out of this? Yes. Easy, just offer her a favor. Like I said, nice and dirty. Surely there's some other way to demonstrate our law enforcement. I will be frank with you. She puts down her thermal cup. If I'm going to break protocol, I need to be able to justify it to my superior. They're going to want to see something very tangible. You're in, but expect her to drive a hard bargain. Like what? Reports from inside Terminal B suggest it's a hub for the local drug trade. This is an open secret in Martinet. The Union controls the terminal, so it goes to reason. The company has tried looking into the matter before, to no avail. Perhaps someone with your authority and resources might turn over the right stones? Or, if she picks the cup back up, you can recover your badge. Though I may be blunt with you, it sounds like that may be a lost cause. So if I may be blunt with you, it sounds like a lost cause. Detective, the lieutenant closes his notebook. A word in private before we continue. Excuse us for a moment, madam.
This is not going quite as I hoped it would, Detective.
The lieutenant's voice is hushed. How did you hope it would go? Honestly, I was expecting you to use your unorthodox technique to keep her off balance and, you know, not volunteer us to be her henchman. Oh, so we're henchmen now? This woman is running circles around us. She might have known about your misplaced badge all along, or she's simply an adept improviser. Either way, we've played straight into her hand. He doesn't let it show, but there is a limit to how much the consequences of her unprofessional behavior cost him. What do you propose, that we don't investigate the drug trafficking? No. No, if there is a reasonable suspicion, we must investigate. Otherwise, she would claim we're siding with the Union, or that we're on the dare take. We'd never hear the end of it. What I propose is we ask her, then we investigate, briefly. He adjusts his glasses, but do not share the outcome of this investigation. We tell her it's done and demand her information. We could just, you know, find my badge. Oh, he nods slowly. That would be fantastic, but do we have the time? The world is large and your badge is 8 by 6 centimeters. The situation might have changed drastically by the time you leave. Time is of the essence. You could request a new one from your station, but that would literally take months. I'm sorry for putting us in this situation. I'll handle it. I'm sure you will, Detective. Her proposal was likely part of her design. This all is. Yes, knowing this does not really change our position, however. Let's get back to her.
You're back. Good. What can I help you with?
Okay, tell me about this alleged drug trafficking. It's quite straightforward. Someone is using Terminal B to smuggle raw ingredients from the Cameron Isola into Revachol with the Union's blessing. Wild Pines has suspected it for years. Ingredients for what, ma'am? Meth and dextroamphetamine, GBL, and various synthetic psychedelics. Honestly, it might be quicker to say what you can't make. Let me get this straight. The materials come from Samara to Revachol through the terminal? Yes. After they clear the terminal, we lose track. The actual production is taking place at various sites in and around Jamrock Quarter, north of here. Wild Pine seems to be well apprised of the local drug trade, ma'am. Do you mean to say the Union also produces the product? Sells drugs, I mean? We're in logistics. It's our business to know. And no, as far as the company knows, the Union does not produce it. They transport the ingredients for a cut. And you want us to investigate. Yes, but you don't get anything out of Avart and the Dock Workers Union. But you won't get anything out of Avart and the Dock Workers. Still, raise your bony finger. Every chain has its weak link. The handoff, the motor lorries, and the roundabout. The lorries. Precisely. Someone needs to move the ingredients from the harbor into the city. Once they reach Jamrock, they're distributed to a network of local manufacturers well beyond our grasp, but in transit they are vulnerable. Perhaps you noticed that a number of lorries are tangled in a traffic jam at the roundabout just now. Interview the drivers who are still hanging about. One of them might be waiting for a crucial shipment. He gives you a knowing look. I'll be explicit. If you find this driver, I will share my company secrets with you. Why didn't you come to the RCM earlier? We did on more than one occasion. Apparently there's some sort of inter-precinct disagreement about whose jurisdiction this area falls under. We know the company has launched its own probe into the Union's alleged involvement. We also know it's come up empty. Not just the RCM. No one's been able to find any hard evidence. Well, she smiles and points toward the roundabout. Here's your chance, officers. It's no coincidence the lorries are stranded there like that, is it? No, we asked East Motor Track to raise the drawbridge. The road company is a partner of one of our subsidiaries. However, pauses, looking up to the sea. This is a limited time opportunity. Once the complaint has been processed by the trade committee, they'll have no choice but to lower the drawbridge, and the operation will continue. She looks north. Thousands of liters of raw ingredients will be poured into the streets of Revachol. Not the east, across the river, but the west, the vulnerable, the weary. Well, at least this solves one mystery. What is that, Lieutenant? Why I had to call East Motor Tract and beg them to open the drawbridge for me. I've wondered since I first drove in on my motor carriage. I'm sorry for the inconvenience, Lieutenant Tsuragi, but we need them trapped here. This is a unique opportunity, I'm sure you understand. What proof do you have that the Union is? How do you think they're financing this strike? There are thousands of unpaid dock workers going strong for the fourth month straight. There was a shakedown of local businesses preceding the strike. Many were squeezed to bankruptcy to fund it. With all due respect to these desert cacti? With all due respect to these desert cacti, the contents of a few cash registers cannot provide for 2,000 men. The local businesses can scarcely provide for themselves. But do you think the strike is being funded with source ingredients for drugs? Precisely. Smuggled out of that very gate at night, most likely. Then loaded onto lorries and driven to Jamrock. You simply need to find one driver who will open up to you. Actually, let's discuss something else for now. She simply nods. Do you know something about these tattoos? Show her the photo. That's the man who was killed. She almost takes the photo, but then stops. I'm afraid this is a discussion for once we've cleared the lynching question. So you know something about the tattoos. Better not tie the forestay to the backstay on this. I hope there's something else I can help you with. She wants to answer the question. Protocol keeps her from it. What if we show her again? Why? How is you looking at the photo tied to the lynching? Better not to try to first this. Okay. You seem rich. Can I have some money? is what you want to say, but it isn't that easy, is it? What? Why not? Look at that lady. Take a gander. Squint your eyes, bub. What nice fabrics. Why, yes, tucked away under that sturdy green raincoat, almost rustic in its simplicity. A silk shirt and matching scarf around her gentle figure. While dull orange pearls, these are the kind eyes of the rich man that seem to say, everything is possible. Within reason. Yeah, so? Now, look at you, you miserly clad simian. Barely able to tie your own laces. Your armpits are lakes, a scythe of booze seeds you. Your hair sticks to your forehead, and your underwear feels uncomfortable. You're poor as balls. You can't ask this person for money. You're too... I'm a goddamn working man. I'm not ashamed to shake this leech for some dough. I just got an achievement, biggest communism builder. Employ critical theory 9 times. You think your little communism protects you from this feeling? No. The more demeaning it is to grovel at her feet. As I was saying, her voice breaks the silence, and suddenly you're back again. Nearby, a seagull pecks at a piece of garbage. If there's any way I may be of assistance, please don't hesitate to ask. Can I have... say it. Can I have some money? Voila, you're doing it. Can I have some money, ma'am? Of course, she nods and doesn't even smile. How much do you need? She's surprisingly nonchalant about this. Could it be that she somehow knows more about your predicament than she's letting on? I would like 0.1 cents. I need 1 real. I need 100 real. I need 10,000 real. I need 1 billion real. I'm gonna be legit with her. I need 100 real. That's a good sum, not too small, not fascinating, fantastically large. She reaches into her raincoat and pulls out a zip bag. In it, you see paper notes arranged like black gills. Oh my god, we did it! Yes! I can pay my fucking hotel fees. Hostel fees. She removes a few notes from her notes and hands them to you. The paper is cold and oily up to the touch. So, she returns the zip bag to her pocket. I hope I didn't just bribe you, officer. It may not be technically illegal under the Emergency Act, but still. I'm still getting my head around this whole money concept. You were just helping me out. You're right, ma'am. That donations are permitted under the Emergency Act, unseemly as it may be, as long as they're properly logged with the precinct. Which he most certainly will do. She bows and then raises a single eyebrow in your direction. Now, how can I help the RCM today besides supplementing its salaries? Thank you, that's all for now. Of course, detective, take care.
Yes?
I'm gonna say I'm gonna save, but I think that we should probably do this drug trade, because I don't know when I'm gonna get the badge, if I will.
You're back. Good. What can I help you with?
Wait, can we not do it now? Oh, tell me again about this drug trafficking. Okay, I've made up my mind about the smuggling investigation. Yes? We will take this case, probe the drivers, see what it yields. Excellent. She takes a long sip of tea. According to my reports, there are at least 3 lorry drivers lingering near the roundabout. Hopefully one of them will know something. It may come to nothing, or it may just blow the case wide open. I can keep the drawbridge up for a few more days at least. You should have the time you need. In the meantime, let me know if there's any other way I may be of assistance. She takes another long sip from her seemingly bottomless thermal cup. Thank you, that's all for now.
Yes?
Looks like there was more construction here decades ago. Alright, let's go talk to that smoker. Finally, that was like the thing I originally supposed to do. What are you doing? You're trying to cut the body of the lock with the pin cutters and it's not working. I believe it's the shackle you mean to cut, Detective. The lieutenant points to the corroded loop with a gloved finger. He's just trying to help. Don't take it bad. Relax. What do you think I'm trying to do? Perhaps you should give it another go? Him pointed out the shackle. Okay. Yeah. The shackle snaps like a twig and the lock falls to the floor with a little thud. It should be possible to enter now. After you, Detective. Books of critical theory on the monstrosities of capital and such. Photos of revolutionaries posing with guns. Revolutionaries love to pose with their guns. A flamboyant poster of a white star filled with bust of Kraz Mazov. A plaster cast bust depicts a middle-aged man with impressive sideburns. The name on the plinth reads Kraz Mazov. Razmazov was an economist and theoretical historian. He was a leading figure on the grand side of the turn-of-the-century revolution, where he headed the 9-day government. Mazov is considered the father of scientific communism, Mazovian thought, or Mazovian. Why does this tenant have a bust of Kraz Mazov in there? The white star, the photos on the wall. I think we've broken into the apartment of a young communard. He looks around before mumbling to himself. How fitting. Father Mazov, the hero of the working class. Whoever lives here definitely shares your enthusiasm. He leans closer to inspect the photos of revolutionaries on the wall. There aren't many communists around. Not after the revolution. Some youth still keep the ideology. What was this? What was it? It was apartment 28, I think. The door is made of metal and appears to be reinforced somewhat. Number 28, this is where the cleaning lady said the smoker on the balcony was. Let's see if anyone's home. Knock on the door. No one answers. Looks like the young man we're waiting for isn't home. I think our best chance to catch him is in the evening. He looks around, taking in the cold spring air. We should return tomorrow after we have finished with our day's work. How about 2100? Sounds good. What do you mean? The smoker on the balcony. This is why we're here, right? He might know something about the murder. So tomorrow, 28. Suddenly he's a little worried about your memory. Don't worry, it's mostly all still there. You can still remember. You got this. Sounds good. Tomorrow 21. Tomorrow 2100, right here, apartment 28. He writes it down in his little notebook. Good, let's go. Damn, turns out it's quite tricky finding someone in a big apartment building. Don't worry, you'll get him. Remember, tomorrow. Probably gone for... Okay, great. Oh, I bet we could afford this now. Go to our economy, I should have this. Point operator, blah, blah, blah. A tourist attraction. Why place a tourist attraction in poverty? What's a tourist attraction doing here? There was a revitalization project in 49, and the Lion Studio tried restoring Martinet to its pre-war glory. The lieutenant looks around and concludes, I didn't stick. What happened? They got as far as the street lamps and the statue on that intersection. Then something went sour. He lowers his voice. I suspect that something was Avart Claire, the union leader. He muscled them out. It's how it usually goes around here. Can't we do something about it? We should have done something about the Union 10 years ago. That ship has sailed, officer. Your money disappears into the coin slot. A clunk, the ring. Pull the handle and open the side. The curtains on the display open. You lean in and catch the view. It's blurry. Different blues and greens. In the middle of the shimmer stands a drab gray shape, like a ghost. Turn the knob to focus on the lenses shift, the ghost sharpens into an islet on the bay. In the ruins, a man-made structure is visible, a half-sunken sea fort. It's concrete, almost reconquered by nature. It looks as if it was abandoned quite some time ago. Nothing but a rotten tooth remains of the anti-aircraft tower. A lonely birch tree grows out of it. Its leaves ripped from it by the winter wind. Hang in there, little one. The little brave birch tree seems to wave back in the wind. There are ruins of some kind of building there. Really? I don't have the eyesight to make it out. The lieutenant takes off his glasses and cleans them. Leave. This seemed kind of worthless. I don't know if that was helpful. Some great tectonic forces cracked the pavement like an eggshell. Damage looks like it could have been caused by an earthquake. Maybe a sea monster did this to the plaza. An ancient fountain that doesn't pump water anymore. There's a tree in it. Sewer grate, a gateway to the rebirth. Helpline to the company that controls the drawbridge. Oh, the drawbridge is up here. Hot air rises from the sewer, sour, acidic, strangely comforting. This is kind of my cutoff for now. Roy's Pawn Shop, fast cash for faster times. That could be good. I think that's where I can probably sell these bottles. Water lock out of order till Wednesday 7. Is it Monday? Some kind of machine, an antique cash register. Mostly military wear with a few more eccentric fashions. A bust of a woman, the plaque simply says, in the dark, a film projector is. He rose a twin. Try to find something pretty and cool here. Try to use it to win her back. Win her back? Yes, buy something nice. A figurine. Hold on. This goes back to her, right? Welcome to the pawn shop.
It's not often that I see officers of the RCM in my pawn shop.
My pawn shop. The man at the counter turns to you slowly.
What can I do for you?
He asks. His courtesy is not insincere, but he prefers being alone with his projector, watching the light across the walls of the... Sorry, I feel like I'm interrupting you.
Oh no, not at all. I guess I haven't had many customers lately, RCM or otherwise.
Who are your customers usually?
All kinds of people come through here. Locals, travelers, people looking for a deal, people looking for a keepsake, people who are terminally bored. As you can see, I have a wide selection of goods for everyone to choose from.
Nod, quite the collection indeed.
It keeps me entertained.
His attention is drawn once more to the play of light and shadow on the... Entertained, he might be high. If he is, on what? Is Roy high, and if yes, what is he on? Okay, he definitely is high. Whatever it is, you've probably done it. And many other things besides, but you can't cut through the jumble of sensations to get to the end. Looking at his wares, talking to him, that might give you more. There's something I'd like to sell. Let me have a look. I'll check my pockets. Wait, how do you sell the, I don't have anything to sell at the moment. I have other business. I thought... Google this. I would assume you could sell the bottles here. I don't know where those... Oh, it's the convenience store. Pawn shop.
Hello
I
again.
know where that
How
is.
can I help you?
You might be able to aid our investigation. I doubt it, but I can try to answer any questions you may. Know anything about the recent hanging? I do my best to keep my distance from all manner of butchery. Bad for business, bad for everyone. You think you could help me get a corpse out of a tree? The corpse behind it, the hostel, I assume. He looks into the swirling lights, then to you. I don't have a truck with a mounted platform or anything of that sort myself. Ask around the harbor. There might be some workers who'd be there who'd be willing to help. Actually, that's all I've got. Whoa, what was that? Oh. By the way, do you happen to have any guns like the ones carried by officers of citizens? Someone else came through here earlier today asking the same question. I probably sold her the gun you pawned a couple days back. This is a pawn shop, and it did feel like you've met before. Oh god. The lieutenant shifts from one foot to another, alert. Wait, I sold you my gun? You were adamant about getting rid of it, officer. He hesitates. Said you were undeserving of a service weapon of the Revachol Citizens Militia. And I don't like keeping guns around the shop for long. Off the charts photon emission. Unhealthy kind. He's not telling you the whole story. It seems he's trying to spare you. I feel like there's something you're not telling me. He looks away. You weren't quite yourself, officer. What was I like? You were very distraught. You said the gun was a threat to your life and that you can't trust yourself with it tonight. And you need the money. When you said I don't normally buy firearms, you put the gun barrel in your mouth and sort of sucked on it. Then I agreed to take it. This is Spring Breakers shit. What the fuck? Wait, how much did I sell the gun for? 15 real. The lieutenant looks from you to Roy and then back to you. It's clear that he hopes this tableau might still turn out to be a bad dream, and not those. I don't understand this breakthrough image. Guess we'll. This has got to be the most. Wow. There's pity there too, in case you didn't notice. I really should have killed myself. Maybe I still will when it. The light swirls in his face and glasses. He doesn't know it. Was the buyer a policeman too? She didn't seem like a policeman, although she kept referring to herself as a pig, which was odd. I found her interest in the gun a bit excessive, and then I was just happy to get rid of it. And of her. Truth be told, she was terrifying. Right, so let me get this right. The lieutenant turns to you. You sold your sidearm, issued by the citizens' militia, and now a civilian is running around the streets of Martinet with it. Miraculously, his face does not reveal what's happening inside. I don't like it either. What if she intends to commit a crime and blame it on the citizens' militia? You're right that she could cast aspersions on the force. We have to find her. He looks around, worried. Any idea where I can find this buyer? My apologies, officer. I have no idea where she was coming from or where. A needle in a haystack. There is nothing you can do about it now. You'll just have to hope luck upon her. At least now I know how I lost my sidearm. Let's talk about something else. Of course. I wanted to ask about my missing gun again. Sure thing. Thanks for the review. Let's talk about something. Okay, peace. Whoa. Thought complete. Rigorous self-critique. Okay. Whoa, what the fuck? Here it is. Hard facts from the man you are. You once jerked off in the locker room and were caught. You held a young woman by the arm and kept her in your apartment for 20 minutes against her will. That's right. These are not flights of fancy. These are real deeds. Harry emerged from darkness of the past. These are real deeds, Harry, emerging from the darkness of your past. Is his name actually Harry? You tried shooting a fleeing suspect in the foot, but hit him in the pelvis, crippling him for life. And above all, you let life defeat you. All the gifts your parents gave you, all the love and patience, friends, you drowned in neurotoxin. You let misery win, and it will keep on winning till you die or overcome. Int and Psi red check failures heal +1 morale. That's a weird way that they do physical. Physical and motor red check failures heal +1. Learning cap for pain threshold raised to 6. Thought complete. Lonesome long way home. Here we go. Home awaits. Walk past Station 41 and through the market, past the Boogie Street spearhead to the other side of the lake, the frozen eye at the center, then past the video rental store on the corner. There, at the end of a street lined with pine trees, small house no larger than a matchbox, 11 Voyager Road. You no longer live there. Those times are gone, and so are those people. Why did you come here? Why are you still here? Where's the dealer? You have to get back to work. That's all you have now. Learning cap for perception, raised to 5. Speed gives 1. Boombox is on the shelf. Oh, let's watch. On the tip of your toes, just do more. Especially. Works with. That's all. I want to make sure I can pay that bill first. Typical Martinet street light sits supported floor and table. This would make quite a statement in your living room. Is that a street light? Yes, officer. As you can see, it's in perfect working order. Where did you get this? It was brought to me to be altered. He leans in and the pawnbroker wouldn't hear. We're not here to investigate property. Pauses, studying the light, then adds, you have to admit, it's rather clever what he's done with it. How much for the street light? 700 real. A bargain, I did. Are you out of your mind? There's one like that on every street corner. He rests his elbows on the counter and brings his face closer to the glass. The light has undergone 3 transformations. Every transformation, large or small. What do you mean transformations? He throws you a look of weary patience. Well, there are costs of removal and rewiring. But the most important transformation is the light's placement among ordinary indoor fixtures, which has adjusted its morphological field. The light became suitable for use inside the home just a few days ago. Okay, that checks out. There's nothing else I need. Shopkeep, this Stereo 8 approved machine here is the Harman Waushi W2 made investment design in steel. He says plays all reel-to-reel formats, 2mm, 8mm, 12mm. It's even got a little radio in there. It'll set you back 12 real. What I really want to know is, could this device come in handy in my police work? If police work means playing tapes, sure, you can use it for that, or any other time you need to play a tape. Are you sure this is all in working order? Absolutely. I've tested each one with recordings of speech, found sounds, and music from a variety of genres. Even though, he grimaces, I don't really like music. That's all. Like the knights on horseback. Big men on the What are the knights on? Who are they? Friend on Nigerian knights. Looks at the dusty figure. Used to be very or a long one. Wait, this looks like Rene, the old guy who was playing pétanque. This is what the loyalists look like. Yes, he inspects the figurine at first. Then they wisened up and got camouflaged. What exactly are these? Which ones? The man peers from the glass box. Ah, royalist soldiers from the time of the revolution. Uniforms are painted a bit too brightly, I suppose. A set of soldiers in the... Are these even soldiers? You're probably talking about the revolutionaries, yes? The man behind the glass answered. Yes, they are soldiers. Revolutionary soldiers. I think their poverty has been exaggerated for effect. When you place them next to the royalists, it doesn't seem like they could possibly win. It's meant to give people hope. Even we can do it. Maybe. Let me do some smart stuff before I do that. That should increase my odds, right? What did I have? 58? 72, yeah. Everything you pick out seems fated ship. I'm trying not to like save scum in this skill check. Right. Hopefully this guy doesn't have back. Man on the waterlock. Good day to you, officers. Burly man hangs by the waterlock, carving up a generous circle on me with the butcher, old hunter's knife. His eyes are fixed on a man stranded on the other side of the waterlock, and on an enormous billboard that has fallen down into the canal between them. First things first, what are you doing here, man on the waterlock? My friend Barry the butcher is stuck on the other side of the waterlock. I'm keeping him company and eating his salami. From the corner of your eye, you see a man in a yellow shirt and gray overalls waving at you from across the canal. He seems disappointed about the wreckage on the waterlock and the salami. The man on the waterlock picks the skin off the slice of salami and takes a sizable bite. Very good stuff. Anything I can do for you, officer? You know what caused this wreckage? Pointed the smashed billboard. I wasn't here to witness it, but it looks like tire tracks on that sign. Weird, huh? Then again, plenty of daredevil drivers in Revachol. The words daredevil driver sound ominous. Too bad it also takes a year and a day to repair anything around here, especially a waterlock. The rest of the coast is closed off till then. Do you know what's further down the coast? Well, there's the fishing village, an abandoned fish market, a bizarro church. Not much use to the congregation, though. There always seems to be something wrong with it. He thinks for a moment. Yeah, not really much else. Just bombed out ruins. Can I have some of that salami? Nice. Sure thing. He cuts off a slice of salami. Want some too, officer? He turns to the lieutenant. The lieutenant ponders the offer for a moment, then decides to go for it. Why not? He takes a slice of the salami from the man and chews on it. Right. Bye. That was nice. Waterlock control panel. A couple indicator lights are missing from this control panel. Loose wires dangle from the now vacant holes. In the middle there is a lever. Beneath it, a small metal plaque. This panel usually closes the waterlock, turning it into a bridge that lets you cross the canal. But there's a crashed Tamarin butter sign in the way. Pulling the lever probably won't do anything. You can try it. You pull the lever all the way until the metal clicks against the contact pins. You hear a soft clunk, then nothing happens. Push it harder. Nothing happens. A cold gust of wind blowing in from the sea interrupts the silence of the suspicion. The lieutenant hums to himself while staring at your activities. Release the lever. Close the waterlock on Wednesday. The spring brings the lever back to its original position. You still need to close the waterlock to get across the canal some other way. Wasn't there a sign over there saying functionality will be restored on Wednesday morning? Man. Mazovian socioeconomics. 0.000% of communism has been built. Evil child murdering billionaires still rule the world with a shit-eating grin. All he has managed to do is make himself sad. He is starting to suspect Razmazov fucked him over personally with his socioeconomic theory. It has, however, made him into a very, very smart boy with something like a university degree in truth. Instead of building communism, he now builds a precise model of this grotesque, duplicitous world. Left-wing dialogue options give +4 XP. Huh. -1 visual calculus, reaction everywhere. -1 authority, downtrodden info-communist.
I can see you have a taste for luxury, officer. Can't keep your eyes off those sneakers?
Inspect the sneakers. Pair of phones. Those sneakers, mister, the street vendor intones. Those sneakers are the latest found sneakers. Super rare, super fine, super cool, only 50 real. Only? That's madness. Inspect the speakers. No, don't look at the speakers, officer. Look at the sneakers. The man points to the footwear. Sneakers are the stars here. But I already looked at the sneakers. Then look at them again. These are premium lifestyle sneakers, officer. The best on the market. Can I just buy the sad, conquered Samaran? Yeah, Samaran. Can I just buy the sad, conquered Samaran speakers? No way, officer. These aren't for sale. They're bad speakers. Lo-fi socialist junk. That's why I want them. I think I might be lo-fi socialist junk myself. Oh, come on, that counts as a left-wing dialogue option, right? No, officer, you're a high-class policeman who accepts nothing less than the best. Lucky for you, I've got the best on sale. You don't know what I am. I don't know. I don't even know myself. I want the speakers. Well, if you want them... Pause for a moment, calculating. But see, they are the pedestal for my sneakers. If I let go of the speakers, where will the sneakers go? I can't leave premium lifestyle sneakers on the ground. This is such a weird fucking idea for a shop. Sneakers and speakers. If on the other hand you wanted to buy the sneakers too, I could maybe throw in the speakers for a little extra, 50 cents. Damn, so you have to buy the sneakers first? What's this? Oh, smell.
Don't be shy. These are premium class clothes. Good quality fabrics, best retro design. Save the economy with your style, officer.
This is Will Miniker. I just noticed. Browse through the box. You find your hands deep in tattered garments. Economical, but also trendy. The street vendor shouts, "Look firsthand, buy secondhand. Keep the economy moving." Yeah. Something cold grazes your hand, synthetic and sleek, a windbreaker, surf it says, but also wind, summer, 100% waterproof, and sport, all different typefaces. Good choice, officer, mega sporty, and it's only $4.50 for you, sir. I really need to figure out if I'm gonna have to give up this real I found. You see a Samaran street vendor surrounded by a motley assemblage of goods. When he realizes you're looking at, face breaks into a wide welcoming. The name Silling embroidered over his breast pocket.
Happy shopping, officer. Everything's cool here.
He gives you a thumbs up. What's so cool?
Everything's cool. The goods are cool, the customers are cool, the place is cool. And one more thing, officer. You're very cool.
He makes both hands into finger pistols and fires a few finger bullets. Really? You think I'm cool?
Oh yeah, you got style. You got personal style. You know what you like.
He surveys his consumerist kingdom with an air of satisfaction.
You like premium menswear. Look around and browse. Everything looks cool on a guy like you. Take your time.
He settles back into the pile of boxes he's sitting on. Don't be distracted by the flattery and funny man act. Question. What kind of stuff are you selling here? Only the coolest goods in Revachol. I've got sneakers, speakers, extremely comfy pants too. Try them on right here. No shame, only freedom. Where'd you get those comfy pants? I'm an entrepreneur, officer. He begins counting on his fingers. I've got sources, buyers, suppliers, distributors, manufacturers, wholesalers, all extremely cool and above board. Do you have a permit to sell all that? Good joke, officer. Here we don't have permits, just economic freedom. Take a look around. He takes a deep breath. You glance around the decrepit buildings with miserable weather, the sidewalk strewn with sunflower seeds, and the dust-choked air. It's beautiful, beautiful freedom. Kim, is it true he doesn't need a permit to sell? It is, yes. Anyone can set up their shop wherever they feel like it. That's right. No permits, no bureaucracy. That's why this city and its law officials are so cool. Wait, but what are we doing here if there are no permits? If you wanted to be cynical about it, you could say we're here to protect the interests of property holders. I'm not, however. My man, officer, you make all this possible. Without you, this climate would be extremely bad for business. You're part of the Gossamer state. So cool guys protect businessmen while everyone else lives in ruins. I can think of cooler. Yeah, cool ruins, he agrees. I get to sell quality goods like these by cutting out the middlemen. You don't have to rebuild your house. Live in a crater or in a tree. He points to a tree. Where can you do that? Only in here. Is there a discount for cool officers like me? No need for discounts at ceilings. Officer, everything is already on sale. He nods towards the crates. Anything you want, 50% off. Did he first mark them up 100% just so he can put them on sale? Yeah. Are these things really on sale, or did you just jack up the price first? My man, you know how the game is played. You and me, we should work together. What do you think? Shake things up? He winks. That's all then. Let me ask you something else. Anything for you, he smiles again. Where are you from, Seling? Me? It's a boring story, officer. Who cares about the past? I'm all business now. All Revachol. But you're not local, are you? Better not to mention. Sounds good. Let's get back to business then. Want to give me some money, dog? No need to dress this one up. You just tell him what you want. I want money, now. Oh, okay. Stealing stops, his face suddenly serious. But why, officer? I don't know. It was just the only thing I could come up with in my head to ask you. I need to get money somehow. Ah, yes. Money is very important. Street vendor nods, dead serious. Are you trying to ask for a bribe? If so, you're not doing a very good job. He looks at the vendor. Sorry, detective. The man grins as the entire incident. I'll look around, thanks.
You like sunglasses, officer? I've got the latest styles right here.
The vendor takes a pair of sunglasses and sticks them under your nose. Try this shit. Abort, these are hideous. What's more, they don't even fit your face. You can feel them pinching your nose and chafing against your brow. Damn, officer, you look like a mega secret spy. Very secret. The man nods eagerly. They're practically made for you. I'll let you have them for 2 real and 50 cents. They're perfect for concealing your bloodshot and baggy eyes. No, the lieutenant removes the glasses from your face, setting you free again. You're definitely not buying them. You're right, I'm too sensible for those. Are you sure? They look so good on you. Scrivener frowns. You should think this through, officer. Those UV stickers are almost certainly just there for show. If anything, these lenses probably direct more UV light into your pupil. A UV magnifier. These are all first-rate sunglasses, the man declares. Premium design, superb material, very cool, UV resistant. These will definitely keep your eyes safe and cool while you're doing your dangerous police work. No luck. All you find is slime colored. Oh, that visor is perfect for you, officer. It'll definitely keep the sun out of your eyes while you're shooting criminals. The street vendor makes a bang bang sound, and all for mere 6 real. Tim, are firefights something we should be prepared for? I hope not, he says, looking up from his browsing. You don't like it? Sure, square jaw, no problem. Let's get you some real shades. Isn't there something that I was supposed to do, come back and do here? Like there was. That's it. Could you run a serial number from a pair of armored boots for me? Sure, officer, what's the number and the make of the armor if you know it? E50, 100, 1000. The make and model of the armor is Fairweather T500. Got it. I'll contact ICP database immediately. Call back tomorrow. Hopefully they'll have dug up something. Wait, what's ICP? The International Collaboration Police? She seems confused for a second. They keep detailed records of all military technology produced by a licensed manufacturer. That's one reasons the moral intern spearheaded. Cool. And what's the moral intern? Officer, as much as I appreciate your effort to lighten the mood, we both have important work to get back to. Do you have any other serious questions?
Hello again, officer. How are things?
I've investigated the body. Shouldn't be long before. Oh, okay. She doesn't quite know what to say. Thanks for keeping me in the know, sir. Yeah, I just wanted to tell you that. Let's go to the shop before it closes. What is this place? Is this the shop? It looks like. Yeah. Yellow roses doesn't look. Melancholy pop song doesn't look. Tear machine. The tear machine stands in the corner. A sign says 1 bottle equals 10 cents. Start your bottles. Yeah, gain $1.80. Your bottles clunk into the machine and money appears with a satisfying jingle. You're a richer man now. You know what you should do with that money, kiddo? You should buy more alcohol. Enter the endless cycle of consumption.
Welcome to Fripp. Feel free to look around or something. Everything is out on the shelves.
She returns to her magazine. What's that magazine she's reading? What magazine are you?
You mean this?
She looks at the cover. She looks at the cover, boasting a colorful photo of 2 girls kissing.
This is Pop Stars. It's got like famous people in it. It's not for sale.
Stupid famous.
Yeah, they're kind of boring, but you know.
She never finishes. Before we go on, what is this frit?
I don't know. Fripp?
Drugs. And what? Why is it written with 3 T?
I think they think that the extra T makes it funkier. It doesn't.
Let's proceed. I have some questions.
Okay. I'm not really supposed to be chatting to anyone, but...
Puts down the magazine. Can you tell me anything about the dead body? I don't really know anything. I mean, I know it's there, but I haven't seen it, so... Did you know the man who died? Not really. Not really? Does that mean you knew him a little? No. I didn't know him at all. How long has it been there? I don't know. Really long? What do you think happened? I don't know. No need to worry. The lieutenant's voice is soothing and professional. It's just standard procedure for us to ask around. If you hear anything, let us know, okay? Okay. She scratches her. Thanks for your help. Uh-huh. She brushes a strand of hair off her face and tries to return. Knick-knack stand. You see several packaged raincoats. The shelf just have croissants on it. The raincoats are transparent except for a big Fritz slogan on the back. What's that? What is what? The girl leans over the counter to see what you're referring to. It's a raincoat. If you want to buy one, then it's 4 real. That's the glass counter. Okay. Just ask if you need anything from this Saint Baptiste. We don't stock prescription meds, but we do have Nosafed, Dramine, magnesium, and hypogamma, hypnogamma. What do those products do? I don't know. Let's see. Nosafed is a nasal spray. Dramine is a really good painkiller. Magnesium is a dietary supplement. Hypnogamma is... She stops. I don't really know what hypnogamma is. I guess it makes you feel less shit. It's recommended to use after lots of partying, studying, or exercising. Can you be a little more specific? She chews her bubblegum absentmindedly. No, sorry, I'm not like a doctor. Nosafed heals +1 health, 3 health. Magnesium heals +1 morale. Hypnogamma heals +3 morale. Who is Saint Baptiste? Saint Baptiste, you know, nods slowly at the cabinet. The pharmaceuticals company. Saint Baptiste Pharmaceuticals, the one that sells meds out of Saint Baptiste. He points to the cabinet. That one there. Colorful display of cigarettes and alcohol bottles on top wall. There, in that dark green glass, a world of ruby, all in vain. A great flowing river of warmth. Wine, alcohol, beer, alcohol, love alcohol. Say nothing, just take it in. The beauty, the truth, the poetry of it. The clerk sees you eyeing the goods behind her. I'm obliged to inform you that both alcohol and cigarettes damage your health. Comments. But I guess you already know that. Know this. You will never finish your alcohol quest if you don't buy beautiful alcohol. Please tell me more about these products. The pale-aged vodka is special, I guess. It's stored in pale for a couple of years, which makes it super expensive and super strong. What is pale? You know, she shrugs, uninterested in explaining it further. Don't worry. Don't worry your pretty little head about it. Let's concentrate on what's important here. Okay, what will consuming this stuff do to my body? He stares at you unsure. I mean, I already said it'd hurt you. I don't know what else they do. Drugs give more power. Tutorial agent. Drugs give powerful bonuses to your main stats while dealing damage to your health or morale. Cigarettes raise intellect while damaging your health. Alcohol raises physique while damaging. Use medication and counteract this damage of drugs. Note, consuming drugs can have Do you sell any under-the-counter vices? No. She fixes her hair underneath her cap. Brit only sells legal drugs, like the law said. Or red wine, pale-aged vodka. Oh, that's potent Pilsner beer. Astra cigarette. Need more money. Am I gonna have to pay back for the room? How does that work? Oh, that guy 100. Let's ask Kuno.
Fuck, does Kuno care?
The boy turns to you. He doesn't care. I want to discuss the body with you again, Kuno. The fuck about it? Where's the rest of his armor? Kuno doesn't give a shit about the armor. How come? Kuno's got one big thing wrong with him. He's a fucking mutant. Mutant? Look at him. He points to the body. Fucking growth hormone shit. He's a giant. The armor's too big for any man. He drills his temples with his fingers in some strange aggressive gesture. Kuno doesn't give a shit about that freak armor. Kuno threw that shit away. What do you mean you threw it away? Kuno tried to get the helmet on. It was too big. He performs a kickoff. On the imaginary helmet. Kuno kicked that shit in the sea, rugby style. That shit means nothing to... You threw it in the sea? Yeah, that shit means nothing to Kuno, he repeats. Kuno doesn't give a shit about material shit. Kuno's a fucking monk. You wanna fuck on someone about that armor? Go fuck on the mustached union fuck. The jolly troubadour shit at the gates. Who do you mean, troubadour? Yeah, cockin' boots. You know that jolly union cowfucker? Came around talking about cows or some shit. Came around pretending like he cares about cows. So yeah, he's the one you want to talk to. He's fucking crazy about that armor shit. Coming here and pretending like he knows, like he likes cows, trying to catch a peep at Kuno's armor. Go to the gates, ask him yourself. Yes, this troubadour has it. You can feel it. There are contusions all over his body. Did you do that? What are you talking about? What is this contusion shit? Grabs his head like it's suddenly hurting. He says you're stupid, Kuno. They want to make you stupid again. A contusion is a bruise. I'm talking about the marks on the stones. Marks your stones left on the corpse. Oh, did Kuno make your shit sniffing harder? Obstruction of shit sniffing? He lets go of his head, suddenly feeling better. This is Kuno's kingdom. Kuno fucking rules here. You hear the lieutenant hum. More on this later. Right now, let's talk about something else. You're testing Kuno's patience here. Get lost. I have more questions about the crime scene. Yeah? The kingdom of Kuno, the fuck you want with it? The ladder, you ever climb it? Look at that fucking shit. Breaches. You trying to get Kuno killed? So you would say the ladder is unclimbable? Fuck does Kuno know? Kuno's not a fucking acrobat. The lieutenant takes a quick note in his notebook. It's a trap, Kuno. Don't climb it, Kuno. What's in the greenhouse over there? Dunno, he shrugs. Hipped-ass gardener used to work there. Hold on, the gardener used to work there? Yeah, that's what Kuno said. She couldn't handle the heat, so she took off. Kuno can take it. He fills his lungs with the rancid air. His eyes get a little watery. It's nothing to Kuno. Wait, what do you mean by kipped? Look it up in the library. Kuno's not a fucking dictionary. He shakes his head. Fucking small brain. Kuno means the gardener, alright? What do you mean, young woman by the... You mean the young woman by the whirling in rags? The gardener? Look, Kuno doesn't explain shit. Kuno just says shit. He looks you in the eye and nods, as if agreeing with him. Yeah, her. What was she doing in the greenhouse in March anyway? What kind of gardening is done in March? I should ask her. Yes, it seems suspicious. You don't like things being like that. Might have questions later. For now, let's talk about it. I'm off. Kuno doesn't fucking care.
Hello again, officer. How are things?
Tell me, what exactly have you been doing in your greenhouse March? Well, she points to her wheelbarrow, surprised at the question. This might be the last snow we get. At least, I hope so. Snow has nutrients in it. Helps everything green up in the spring. At least that's what my grandma always told me. Smiles shyly. What nutrients? Nitrogen and sulfur, mostly. She points to the sky, and whatever factories and aerostatics exhale too, I guess. Okay, then, snow it is. Oh. Hmm? Oh, this seems like a bug. Guess I gotta try this. All you can see is the fact that her skin is a different color from you. That's literally all. You're gonna have to run with that. You're black. What does that mean? She doesn't flinch. So, what kind of music do you listen to nowadays? I don't know. She looks around. Whatever's on the radio, I guess. What does this have to do with snow or gardening in March? She seems more perplexed than cornered. Do you listen to disco? I'm gonna say no. We'll probably proceed with our business in Martinet, though it you, or turning to you. Unless you didn't have any more official questions, I have to run. Lorry stuck in traffic jam. Those are clear, they've been washed. Driver has a door in his speed. On restraint. What about the back seat? Back end of the cabin has a small perch to sleep, large ashtrays. Racist nationalist paraphernalia. He grits his teeth. Not unusual in this part of town. This is our guy, Lieutenant Monster. You think this lorry belongs to our tough guy? Likely, yes. The guy's proud of who he is. Drapes it all over his... Ruins full of snow. No one lives. Heard a crater story. Hey. I was gonna potentially try to save Scum if that didn't work, just to see if it changes anything or if it's like predetermined. I don't know. Even by the standards of the Philippian kings, old sumptuous Philippe was known for his profligacy. In what way? Oh, he blew through the whole national treasury, starting the decline of one of the penultimate century's greatest superpowers, the suzerain of Revachol. His own maladministration foreshadowed the fall of the monarchy during the Centennial Revolution, and into his family line and the monarchy on the Elysium. How did he manage to blow through the entire national treasury? Stories, 8 o'clock. Stories have had the bedroom converted. Okay. He then called it Sol Arum. It was obscene. There were whispers he slept on a pile of gold dipped feathers like some beast dragon instead of a bed like a normal person. Man certainly knew how to live. A deplorable farce, no wonder everything. But wait, you haven't even heard about his fabled cocaine addiction. What now? You see, old Philippe wasn't just good at squandering the national treasury with gold and ceremonial weaponry, also a prodigious snorter of nose candy. Not just any nose candy, though. We're talking about Royal Philippian blow, allegedly twice as potent as the stuff you find nowadays, and purple Philippian cocaine. Purple. This is a lot to process. His Majesty courtiers said it helped him connect with the higher realms. He was addicted to nose candy, bloated druggie. That's what the revolutionaries said 150 years later, right before they emptied out the royal mausoleum and dumped His Majesty's mortal remains in the Elysium Bay? Okay, where is he buried now? Beneath the old cold waters of the Elysium Bay, thrown down there by revolutionaries after they cleaned out the royal mausoleum. What happened to the statue? The original was blown apart by communards, then further damaged during the landing of coalition's airships during the turn of the century revolution, when Martinet was leveled. Who restored the monument? Some years ago, a group of liberal, artistically inclined individuals, designers most, thought it would be ironic to restore the statue of the most wasteful ruler of Revachol in the poorest part of the city. The statue is supposed to capture the moment blown apart, like an instant frozen in time, a rare butterfly trapped in amber, floating on a sea of shit. That's brilliant, so funny and nihilistic. People in Martinet tend to disagree, as do many prominent art critics and thought leaders with more nuanced social awareness. Young ironists. Philippe III, squanderer, however. Hail driver. Small wrinkled woman does not greet you, she nods. It's the warmth of a winter's night's fire. Maybe she could give you comfort and shelter, some cigarettes and food money. Maybe she's your... grandma? Nothing. Her smile just keeps widening. Her hair is gray like lead. Excuse me, ma'am, I'd like to ask some questions. No response. Wherever this woman is, your words fail to reach her. Snap your fingers in front of her.
If you want her attention, you may need to be more forceful.
Alright, snap your fingers twice.
Where am I? Who are you?
Like a magician recalling a subject from hypnosis, jolted her back to reality. The smile on her face disappeared, replaced by the wary aspect of a cornered beast. Are you alright, ma'am? You were out.
Never mind. I remember now. I'm still stuck in the traffic jam. In the 50s.
He adds with contempt. When else would you be then?
Back in Mefke, during the time of the revolution, the sidewalks and coffees are filled with young people. I was on my way to see a new Boydero picture starring Gabriel Buenguerro. Until you come along, that is.
The look she gives you is accusatory. Who is Gabriel Buenguerro?
This is Gabriel Buenguerro.
Buenguerro. She shows you the photograph in the lavish amber frame. Strikingly handsome man looks straight at you, his head crowned with a wide brim hat, his hair dark and perfectly chiseled thing. This man's got a hold over her. Even 50 years later, you can feel it.
He was the biggest star of his day. Girls used to faint in the aisles of the cinema whenever he came on the screen, and schoolboys used to memorize all his lines.
She leans back, savoring the world she's... So I take it you were in Esque when you were young?
Someone was.
She nods as though her meaning was perfectly clear. Someone, are you not your memory? Are these not your memory?
They are someone's memories, boy. What
Get-
difference does it make if it's me or not? They are beautiful. That is all that matters, beautiful and true. And they will win. They are coming for this, you know. All of this.
She seems to divine some bitter pleasure from this strange thought, as if the past will one day wipe the present like a tidal wave approaching. Sorry to interrupt your dreaming.
I
man.
wasn't dreaming. I was there, low man. It was early spring, and the man behind the black sun had just come out. The posters were 20 meters tall. Everything was golden.
Her eyes narrow and she take your... I wish more of this game was voiced, because this dialogue is more heavily voiced.
While you people were tearing each other apart over your petty little revolution. In Mezque, it was a golden age.
Right, I have some other questions for you. Police question.
Why not, Jerife? It's not like I have anything better to do in this hellhole.
She settles back against the railing of her motor lorry. Behind her, mountains of memorabilia, photos, and knickknacks line the dashboard. What are you hauling? Diamonds. Diamonds, really? Of course not, she says, grinning. But wouldn't it be marvelous if I was? Okay, but what are you really hauling? She shrugs. Whatever stupid things they put in the... So you don't know what you're hauling in your own lorry? I quit concerning myself with that a long time ago. She smiles a careless smile. Besides, I don't drive the lorry for the cargo, if you know. She says that as if something narcotic is the reason. What if the cargo is contraband? Then it's contraband, lawman. What? Do you want to take an old woman in? Be my guest. Lock me away like a bad hand from Hermenegildo. Bad hand Hermenegildo's bad hand. Strength. What can I say? Some people just really like strength. I still don't really understand this whole Gabriel Borrero thing. Of course not. To truly understand the Boidero, you need to listen to On the Western Plains. Okay, what's that? An old ballad about a young girl who falls in love with a daring Boidero. He promises to marry her as soon as he returns from the Western Plains. I'm guessing that doesn't happen. Of course not. The Boidero returns from the Western Plains a changed man. One night, he and his beloved are out walking along the river Marguerite. She pleads with him to give up his riding and settle down. I think I see where this is going. So the Boidero strangles his beloved and throws her body in the Marguerite. Then he rides off because the Western Plain is calling to him. That's not where I thought that was going. You have to understand, a true Boidero needs a whole horizon to himself. He can't be tied down by a man. His beloved was selfish. He didn't know what it meant to love a... What if truly love a Boidero, they'll float lifeless downstream? Before I came, you seemed away. She's just distracted. She's just a distracted old woman. We should maybe let her back to her, so he doesn't think she... You hear that, lawman? I don't think your partner likes you spending too much time with me. Wait, why is that, Lieutenant? Nothing. I just don't think she's connected to him. He doesn't want your frail mind caught up in something unconnected to the case, but connected this woman tuning out like... Should you drive a lorry if you get like that? Oh, don't worry about me. I'm one of the best communiers in the world. I drive routes. What else? What routes? Blah 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 blah. Blah 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 blah. I'm something of an expert in blacking out. You should take better care of yourself. He looks at you over and scoffs. You're right, lawman. I'm the one who should take my health more seriously. Thank you for looking out for me. A correct appraisal. You're quite shabby. Is that all you woke me up to say? You seem like a woman who knows a thing or two about drugs. What do I need drugs for, lawman? What I see, what I feel, the great adversary. No drugs can compare. The adversary? Yes, there is a protagonista. She gestures to the intersection, and an adversario. And I am on the side of the adversary. There's no coming back from that hall. Those epithets are familiar somehow. The great adversary, the great unrest. I don't like the sound of any of that. Sounds like a horrible drug. The worst one of them all. Where would I get my hands on an experience like that? If you don't know, flicks her wrist in a gesture of casual dismissal. What is it you're hauling exactly? Your May, and what of it? Okay, let me put this another way. Are you smuggling drugs through Terminal B? Her shoulder bones crack as she shrugs. Maybe. Probably not. Makes no difference to me either way. You said earlier you don't know what cargo you're hauling. Could it be drugs? Just this month I made half a dozen trips from Sarah Miraza to Brad on blah blah blah. What do you think they take from me? I don't know, that's why I'm asking you. It's diamonds, lawman, obviously. If you had to guess, who do you think is smuggling drugs around here? Easy. It's the skinny man who thinks he's a poet. Never trust a poet. Points across the square. Also, he's the only one I can see from here. That's correct. There is no visibility of any of the others. I didn't ask about diamonds, did I? I don't care about that. Diamonds are good for you, lawman. You should try them sometime. Make yourself pretty like Eva Deshoras. Okay, if you're not involved with the drug trafficking, then why are you still waiting here? Where do you want me to go? This isn't so bad. I can listen to music or the seagulls, look at the colors and the features of this world. The good palate cleanser, Amber. Or I can just relax and let my mind carry me back where it will. The Great Plains. I think we're done here. No? Closes. Thank you for now. Yes, go. Enough jamboree. I can get back to it. That was all.
Looking for something, Hunt? Huh? Coming to tell me to fuck off again?
You're a lorryman, right? What's your stance on drugs? Drugs? They're shit, man. I don't let anything pollute my body. It takes a long drag on us. Why not? You know where that shit comes from? Blah, 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 blah. They take the money from our local junkies here and then use it to outcompete us in the manufacturing sector. They know they can't beat us in a fair fight, so they have to weaken ourselves somehow. It's racial sabotage, racial economic sabotage. And this guy really is a fucking white nationalist. Jesus. I take it you're not... Listen, I agree. It's our responsibility to keep this poison off the streets in Revachol, right? The eyes you warily aren't sure how to respond. It goes on for about 2 seconds then. I don't know, shit. And if I did, I wouldn't tell you. Plus, then what are you still hanging around here for? Most other yours have left. My French is so bad. I mean, it's not even bad. I just literally don't know how to say these words. What do you think? I can't leave the Lorien guarded. Stuff's been getting looted lately. It's those little kids sneaking around at night. They touch my, if they touch my stuff, the boss will be on my ass. Like, ask him. There was a bunch of spilled boxes in the back of the big lorry nearby. I did see one lorry with the trailer doors open on my way here. Do you know what happened? Yeah, I knew that guy. He was an honest driver who loved his country. We were having a good debate about genetics at the Whirling and Rags when some kip boy smashed his lock and took damn near everything. Lost his fucking job over it. He takes a long suck of his cigarette, appearing to savor the taste. Since he left, I haven't had anyone to talk to. Bad for him, I guess. The man shakes his head, dismayed, furiously pulling on him. The fucking travesty is what it is. If it's not you, then who's running drugs through Terminal B? Isn't it obvious? Fucking ceiling. The beady-eyed South Samaran. He spits on the ground. His little side business is a scam. I wouldn't be surprised if he was peddling drugs as well. Wait, the street vendor south of here? That guy's a lorry driver? Of course he's a lorry driver. What? He tell you he was just some simple businessman or some shit? He's selling his employer's stuff after he broke the seals on his Humanox lorry. His tribe are natural liars. It's in their blood. He nods in a sagely manner, then another puff of the cigarette. He's your man, all right, 100%. I wouldn't be so sure about it, not until we've heard what Sealing has to. Guess we need to pay Sealing a visit then. Guess so, he grins, contented himself. We're done for now. You sound like the kind of guy that would just want us to go harass him. I'll do that, but I'll talk to this guy first.
Hello again, my man. What's on your mind?
You seem like a man who knows about drugs. Man notices me. Man, me and narcotics go way back. He folds his hands behind his head. Had some good times surfing the psychic waves of my own consciousness, you know? But pauses, letting them participate. Those days are behind me. There are other addictions in my life now. Why the inquiry, my man? I need to get high and I'm looking for a dealer. Hey man, that's serious criminal talk. Are you trying to pull some sort of entrapment thing on me? Entrapment? What's that? Entrapment is where a law officer gets a person to commit a criminal offense they otherwise wouldn't commit, often through some trickery or fraud. Yes, it's like trying to trick a person into doing something criminal that they'd never do. I would never do something like that. Then why are you trying? What are you trying to accomplish? So much for subtlety. Better get straight to the point. Let me be straight with you. I'm trying to figure out who's smuggling drugs out of Terminal B. The lieutenant steps in. We have a credible lead, sir. Someone on this roundabout is waiting for a bulk shipment from the harbor to load it onto their lorry and drive it to Gamrock. Not me, man. No way. I don't need any trouble. Shit's bad enough anyway. This jam's got folks up in arms, and I'm afraid it's headed toward a conflagration. Wait, then why are you still hanging around? Gotta guard the stuff. Bosses don't look kindly on missing cargo, and it gives me time to work on my rhymes. Who do you think could be conducting the drug trade then? Look, man, I try to stay away from the criminal underbelly of Revachol. I'm a guest here. You really need to find another man with the question. That's all for now. Bye. Can I boost conceptualization? Yep.
Hello again, my man. What's on your mind?
Fuck. So what happens if I do this? What happens if I...
again, my man. What's on your mind?
Your best verse? You don't even have a bad verse in here, just tumbleweed and liquor stains. Wait, no, what are you doing? She broke me up. She fucking broke me. She broke me, she fucking broke me. That's brutal, man, but, you know, time will... No, stop. He's already mortified. No, Tommy, these are my rhymes. Listen, continues. She fucked me till I bled. That's, in the name of God, what are you doing? I'll never be the same again. She's always there. Fuck the case. Fuck everything. Total doom. Yeah, he doesn't know what to say, so he just repeats. Yeah, I get it. These are your rhymes. They're from your life. Doesn't matter if they're robust. They're honest, so thanks, man. Yes, and I also thank you for stopping. He looks at you. We have a drug investigation. How about that?
Hello again, my man. What's on your mind?
Liked your emotional poem. If we can.
Hello again, my man. What's on your mind?
Yes. In his eyes, a half-familiar longing, flecks of brown and gold. Familiar how? Hard to say, his gaze wanders southwest, down the street. What's in the southwest? Excuse me? He emerges from the reverie. Hell, I get longing. I felt something similar since I woke up. Man, he sighs. I don't know what to say. Not much anyone can do. There's no helping an absence, you know? I miss my family. They're all I have. My wife, a second kid on the way, waiting all the way in Diora. And here I am, stuck in this shit so far from home. Diora? Diora of the Seven Seas, on the other end of, like Kaliu, pretty much on another island called Laurentide. Off mainland. We got a little place there. I can almost hear my kid laugh when it's... What's it like to miss someone? What's it like? Good and bad. An ache that brings you joy. Smiles warmly. I think of them a lot. I dream up these silly scenarios, great detail of living with them. Comforts. There's a pause and a sigh. Then he turns his eyes to you. What about you, cop man? You missing someone? That what it is? This feeling? No. It's scarier than that. You're pursued by a hunter, knowing what's past. No, I feel hunted. Hunted by what? By a shadowy figure known only to me. An ex-wife? Ex-wife? No, it's a sinister presence that hunts me across all planes of existence. Sinister presence. Wow, that sounds really bad. I hope that doesn't happen to my marriage. First, what is marriage? Man, who even knows? It's like a legal contract, but it's also a bond between spirits. Everyone is different. That's all I can say. Yeah, my thing has got nothing to do. Sure, man, if you say so. Doesn't look like you believe. But look, man. Thanks for this. It's good to talk to somebody I know. I know it wasn't easy to ask, Miles. I hope you find your way through your own troubles.
Hello again, my man. What's on your mind?
Yeah. Wait, there's something here, stored away in some dusty corner. It starts like, the mirror's temperature is always 0. It is ice in the veins. Its camera is an X-ray. Whoa. He leans in, his eyes bright with attention. What else? It is a chalice held out for you. Silent communion. Silent communion, that's good. He's transfixed by the words. We're gasping the partake of a shifting identity. Ever you're. Dang, he grunts, unable to suppress his reaction. That's some great shit. You came up with that yourself? I'm just a vessel for them. Right, but really, no bullshit. That's great stuff. I want to know, sort of want to know if it's yours. I think the words are mine, yes. Fucking A. Seems I got you all wrong. Cops aren't much known for their artistic sensibilities. Good to meet a fellow poet, someone with an appreciation for real text. The others here, see, they don't really get it. Hey man, cops are human too. Yeah, I guess I owe you an apology for thinking otherwise. Again, great shit. He gives you a thumbs up. You leveled up, yeah. You found some common ground with this man. Even impressed him. Next time you look in the mirror, though, remember those words. Got any smokes on you? Nope, don't smoke. What are you hauling anyway? Oh, high-grade narcotics, illegal firearms, stuff like that. You're under arrest. No, I'm joking, my man. He grins. Phone runs. Huh.
Everything's still cool here, officer.
The ceiling. What's your stance on drugs? Drugs? For a moment, he's unsure how to respond. I don't go in for that, officer. Drugs ruin lives. Unless you're into drugs, of course, in which case, drugs are excellent. He kisses his fingers. Tasty, tasty drugs. I'm super into drugs. That's very cool. A lot of the coolest detectives do. Sadly, I don't have any drugs on. Or at my home. Or on my person. We're looking for a lorry driver who is transporting drugs out of the harbor. He or she is in this traffic jam. That's even cooler. You investigating that and all, but he points to the goods. I'm not a lorry driver. I'm just a street vendor. I don't know anything about that. You are a lorry man. Another driver has identified you and your lorry. Who? Or who said that? It's that fat racist, right? I bet it's him. He has an agenda against me because I'm an immigrant who works harder than he does. He's a hater. So you admit you're a lorry driver? No. I just said I work harder, and he's an asshole. Stops to think. Okay, maybe I'm a lorry driver too, a little, but that's not the most important thing about me. That's my day job. This is my dream. He spreads his arms. So you forgot to tell me? Exactly. It's such a small part of my life. It's in the rearview mirror now. I'm climbing out of that hole with ingenuity. Stop squirming. What do you know about the drug operation at the harbor? Nothing, I told you. I'm not a dumb guy. I don't get involved with that crowd. And what crowd is that? Crowd, you know, the drug crowd. He doesn't want to talk about them. He's afraid. Who are you afraid of, silly? Look, he looks around and lowers his voice. There's bad people doing bad things here. That's all I know. Please don't get me into this mess. I've spent 15 years working my way up. Here we go. There's a tiny bit of truth on the zoom in on it. Look, nothing. Here's where. We're buddies, Celine. Help us out. No one will know it was you. It's a she, okay? He whispers. The other drivers call her the lady driver. You're better off staying away from her. The way they talk about her, he shakes his head. She's no lady. Who are these other drivers who talk? All of them. I don't know. I told you all I know. Are we cool now? I really want us to be cool now. Who exactly is talking about this lady driver here? The racist or the other one with the tattoos? Points north. All of them. Even the ones who've left. I don't hang out with them. I don't remember who has tattoos. Is the lady driver the old woman back there? Point to the pale driver. Dazed out? Strange? I don't know, maybe? If she is, I haven't gone near her. I don't get involved, I told you. It could be. She was strange. Okay, we're cool now. Alright, he snaps back to his usual self. Ice cold, let's cap it off by a purchase. You can walk away from here with funky sunglasses. Detectives, both of you. You deserve it. What was the,
Everything's still cool here, officer.
Frederick. Frederick -1.
Everything's still cool here, officer.
That's all. Damn. Dave Scummit. Right once. Maybe you can't. I wonder if they have some protection.
Everything's still cool here, officer.
Oh, no, they don't. Nice. Start with a little compliment, then work your way up from there. This is about business. Hey, you seem like a really successful entrepreneur. Would you like to support a member of the local police force? Oh, okay. The man stops, his face suddenly serious. But why, officer? After all this mess, the broken seals lying to you? Come on. Think of it as an investment. An investment? He raises a brown tree. What kind of investment? It's an investment in me, a highly experimental human being. My risk-reward ratio isn't. It's an investment in your customer base. Got to prime the pump, man. Fair point, he agrees. You can't have a successful business without a loyal customer base. How much is your loyalty worth? 10 real. Yeah. 10 real is a bargain for that kind of investment. You got it, my man. He takes a 10 note from his leather pouch. I'll leave you to it for now. Money. Getting that paper. Tire tracks leading onto the special. Here to chirps. All is the thing with this panel. The volition is just tied to. Yeah. Whatever she says, it can't hurt you. You're a different person now, stronger, healthier, and... Alright, maybe not healthier, but it's a bonus that you drank so hard you can't remember any of your past relations. Oblivion's... Far again. There's a light buzz. You press the doorbell, waiting for her to answer the call. It's cold outside, and you can wind blow. A strange metallic taste fills your mouth as you stare at the internet. Yes, hello, this is Tricentennial Electric. Want to place an order? Hi, it's me again. I wanted to talk to you. My God. Here come the bad vibes again. Relax. Distance yourself from it. What? Before you can finish your sentence, the voice continued. You. My God, I didn't think I would hear your voice again. Wait, is she... Didn't you already say that the last time we talked? Michelle, please. Just please. The way her voice drops when... Why did you call? I don't understand. You've been gone for months, she continues. I thought you didn't care. It doesn't matter what I say, you're just going to continue, right? The voice in the intercom doesn't answer. Hear her breathe. Wind blows into your microphone, crackling and echoing talk. Your hands are getting cold and your breathing forming small silvery puffs in the Thank you. Now tell me, who's responsible for this joke? Ever since I came to work here, it's been different. My mind's been wiped clean. So nice. So nice to finally be able to forget about you. And then it hits you. You're a recording. She tries again not to cry and still doesn't succeed completely. Quiet sobs sound old and distant. Voice is being played off a wax cylinder. Real or not, your mirror neurons react. It feels painful to be. Why does it still feel like it's my fault? Her sounds melt into panic and alarm call for people talking in the distance. This is where you hung up the call the last time. Recording is still going. Keep listening. A phone rings in the office with the old-fashioned chime, and someone walks by in a pair of heels. The static is like a warm blanket wrapped around. Is anyone there? No one replies, but the static grows stronger like rainfall. Then a female voice speaks out, completely different, glorious and total somehow, crawling inside your head. Her words are too cold to comprehend. She smells of sodium lights and rain streaks in car window. Eyes like pilot lights watch your shape in dark hallways, guttering. So, strange alien thought pattern in. Lieutenant expecting that. It was a recording trapped in the circuitry from some ancient tenant. This sometimes happens. Shall we conclude here? We have other mysteries to solve. Wait, a recording trapped in the circuitry? I don't have time to explain it to you right now. Maybe sometime later. He looks at the sea, most wistful. Something weird just happened to me. Don't take this the wrong way, but during our short stint working together, something weird is almost always happening to you. That is true. We'll come back to this. We'll go confront the lady. Alright, are you the lady driver? Did you just call me a lady, Maurice? He clearly doesn't think she's a lady. Don't repeat. I was told of a woman driver. You're the only woman here. I'm not that either. Her smile dissipated. I've gone too far from it all to remember what was between my legs. It doesn't work like that on the long haul. So you're not the driver everyone is terrified of? I'm only terrifying to small children, those who used to know me. Why are you scary to people that used to know you? Because they can no longer recognize the person I once was. You said long haul, that's the big ones, the tracks. There's no women in all just comes along as if to attract one. In the middle of this town, there's a ghostly motorway. It takes all the people where they want to sleep. Oh, it's the song. Then who is the female driver, I was told? How should I know? Do I look like I spend a lot of time with other Communiers sniffing around when I have my movies to go to? That's all I needed to know. Thanks. Oh, Sin. The woman stares at you. Mine elsewhere now. Somewhere in her is pulling... Something in her is pulling towards some unknown rest state, which is like a sleep.
Looking for something, Runt? Huh? Coming to tell me to fuck off again?
I know you've been giving me the runaround. Mess up. Where's the lady driver? Rex, I don't know what you're talking about. Then why are you smirking? Listen up, fuckwits. You don't scare me. Cops don't run Revachol West. You don't run Martinet. You don't run anything. So who does? The lady driver? No. The lieutenant turns to the ferryman. He means La Puta Madre. The name resounds like a bell in the air. Dark gone. You get a bad feeling of it. Looks like the lieutenant has a plan. Let him do. For a moment, the lorryman is silent. Then he spits on the paper. Yeah, him. And I presume you're familiar with his peones? Yeah, he says, unsure where this is leading. They're his little bitches. He's got them all over the unions. Not just the unions, he has peones everywhere. Some say he even has the RC. He gets closer to him. Dirty fucking peones who'd do anything for multi-ethnic drug addict. You're not peones, he says. You wouldn't be investigating a drug thing. Oh, no, of course not. We're not peones. But if we were, and one of Madre's drivers was stealing from him, then it's a good peone's job to find out who that is. It's not a hard job. It won't take a long time. It won't make Padre Madre. Did I say Puta Madre before? Is that what it actually said, or did it say Padre Madre? Yeah, it was Puta. Okay. Won't make Padre Madre angry. He looks at him. But a stupid fucking racist is standing in the way, protecting this fucking thief. His eyes dart between you and the lieutenant. I'm not scared of you or the mob. I'm under the protection of the lorrymen and Carter's Guild. You've seen that corpse in the ceramic armor there? The lieutenant points to the yard. Did his shitty little guild protect him? Nah, you wouldn't just leave him out there if you could. He tries to light a fresh cigarette, but his hands are shaking now. The sentence simply ends. The lieutenant turns and gives you a barely perceptible nod. I've softened him up as best I could. Now it's on you to finish the job. Here goes. Fuck. The main thing is to not overdo it, even when you're trying to scare someone. The most important thing, how does it look on your resume? Jig's up, I've got the goods on you. Oh yeah? He snarls, on what goods are those? You know, your goods. The lorryman raised an eyebrow. There's some kind of homo thing? Yeah, maybe it is. Okay, that's enough, detective. We'll just have to ask someone else about the lady driver. Let's go. Police work is tough. Take breaks. Talk to strangers. Explore.
Hello again, sweetie. I see you met up with your colleague.
Who's Sweetie?
Why? You are, officer.
I'm no Sweetie. Look at me.
You are a handsome man, officer, with your moustache and your chiseled jaw and that silly dimple on your chin.
Dimple or not, I'm a bitter man. The years have taken.
Take heart, officer. You're still a man in your prime. You must forgive me. I'm getting so scatterbrained, I completely forgot to introduce myself. I'm Lena. My husband Morel and I are staying with our friend Gary just down the street, but I come here for tea when they're away.
Her eyes glitter over the glasses. This Lena is wacky enough for the motley. Hire her on the spot. Seem to be in a chair. Would you like to roll with me? Her eyes light up. Whatever do you mean? I want you to be my wheelchair partner in fighting crime, riding backyards of corpses, catching sequence killers. Sequence killers, oh my, she sounds impressed. But I think you already have a partner, sweetie. A partner who needs you to help him get a corpse down from a tree. I know, but there are also side mysteries, sequence killers, and forays into the paranatural. I can assure you, with absolute certainty, there are no sequence killings taking place in Martinet. Now, gentlemen, no need to squabble. Turns to you. I wouldn't be much use to you anyway, sweetie. Why? 3 heads are better than 2. Thank you, but she looks out the window with Martinet isn't the place. Isn't the most wheelchair-accessible place. I'd slow you down. She turns back to you with a hopeful glint in her eyes. Perhaps another time? I don't know if you've noticed, but I don't know where I am or what I'm doing, or anything. Her eyes follow your movements. Yes, officer, you look rather dazed, like a stunned fox, but surely things can't be that bad. We won't judge you no matter what you say. I drank so hard, I forgot literally everything. Oh my. Takes her a moment to process. You know where we are, right? The Whirling and Rags cafeteria, it was on my key. That's right. And where is the Whirling and Rags cafeteria itself located? In Revachol? Yes, indeed. We're in the fine city of Revachol. Honestly, I don't know diddly squat about Revachol. What kind of place is that? Our gray eyes widen. How would I even begin to tell you? Revachol is the most beautiful city in the world. We're fortunate to be here, you. I haven't seen very many other cities personally, but everyone says Revachol is a cool city used to rule the world, though it has seen better days. There's a pause as she studies your expression, and you must look quite lost. Speaking of history, you know what year it is, yes? It's the spring of 51. That's right, dear. How splendid. Here, take this pen. Knowledge should always be rewarded. He was getting pretty worried about you. I can tell that this is taxing for you, so I'll just ask one more question. What regime are we living under? What mode of government? Democracy, maybe? I like to think this is the dictatorship of the proletariat, but something tells me it's not. Our leaders are fierce warriors who travel the plains on steeds, civilization cowers before. We are governed by intelligent machines that perform calculations to determine the freest market. Everyone hustles and grinds like a badass visionary. Radios are being used to control people's minds and distort our perception of reality, concealing our true masters, foreigners, and women. Oh my god. Cop. We are living under the cop regime. I'd like to think it's the dictatorship of the proletariat, but something tells me it's not. Oh, sweetie, she smells a sad smile. It's really not. There used to be people who thought this way, other who wanted those things, but they all went extinct. Revachol is a special administrative region led by an alliance of foreign powers called the Coalition. We have almost no government of our own, and certainly no dictatorship of the proletariat. They still have cops. If there's no government, how come there are cops? Oh dear, she shakes her head, suddenly very worried. And you were doing so well. There aren't any cops in Revachol, not in the traditional sense. The status of law enforcement has been a complicated matter since the revolution. But we should stop for today, sweetie. You look like you need a break. Besides, not the best person to explain the big thing. She's scared now. She's realized you really are brain. So how did I do? You were doing quite well up until the end there. It does look like you were having trouble remembering history and places. Remembering reality. Very odd. A sigh. The lieutenant buries his... But maybe a fresh set of eyes is what the world needs, and while I'm no doctor, such bouts of amnesia are often temporary. So I wouldn't worry too much. He means this sincerely. Worrying won't... What is the revolution you meant? A defeat, I'm afraid. The people of this archipelago tried to build something new, something different. The rest of the world didn't like it, so they came in it. It was 42 years ago. What does that have to do with there not being any cops? It has something to do with everything. I really don't know how to explain it. I'm just a poor woman. What do I know of these? How can I? Who could tell me more? Someone more educated in sweeping matters? Maybe you should ask. No, he looks away. I'm not an encyclopedia. I won't be a guide either. I'm a... Of course, she turns to you. Then, I don't know. Someone rich, maybe? Wealthy people are educated. Though I don't know where you would find a wealthy person in Martinet. Are you okay? I'm very sorry I crashed into you earlier. I don't know what got into me. Oh, I'm perfectly alright. I'm more worried about you. What was that? It was like my body had a will of its own. I was running, my torso turned, my hands made this lewd gesture. I'm sorry you had to... Don't beat yourself up over it too much, dear. People do strange things when all old fight or flight kicks in. I'm just glad you weren't injured. You seem to be in a chair. Yes, dearie, I am a paraplegic. Paraplegic is someone with limited or no ability to use the lower half of their body. Paraplegia is caused by spinal cord injury, like falling from a great height or a grenade explosion. A grenade? Did you fight in a war? No, dear, I'm not quite that old, though I was injured in the line of duty. Were you a mountaineer? Nothing so glamorous, dear, though when I was young, I dreamt of planting Revacholian flag on some figurative peak. What did you do then? I was a training and development manager at a rapidly expanding mail order shoe company. You'd think it would be a safe job, but I had to be everywhere. And well, once I happened to be under some faulty scaffolding. I was lucky. This was almost 20 years ago, and I was compensated exceptionally well. One can only dream of such payoffs nowadays. She runs her hand over the chrome wheels of her chair. Thanks for clearing that up for me. Let's move on. No problem, she nods, smiling at you from behind her glasses. There is no bitterness in her voice. She accepted the curiosity her condition inspires a long time ago. Sweetie needs money. Do sweeties get money? Her expression becomes very serious. Oh, sweetie, I heard your conversation with the manager about your financial troubles. When do you get your next paycheck? If she could, this woman would feed and clothe you and every other sad lost person on this earth. You've got guns of steel and a chiseled jaw somewhere under the bloated alcohol layer. Maybe she'd like to sponsor you? I was hoping you could be my sponsor. Oh, I'm sure you would make a wonderful gigolo, dear, with those strong arms of yours, but welfare checks aren't all they're cracked up to be. My husband and I are barely scraping by. He's not really lusting after those biceps, man. It's more like an appraisal you give to a healthy specimen. What is a paycheck? I haven't seen any paychecks. You must be joking, he pauses, reflecting. Although your pay does sometimes feel like a joke. It's not easy to assert your right to a decent living wage when you don't have a strong union. Maybe you should talk to Evrart, the union. Interesting idea. This Evrart sounds powerful. Maybe you can wrangle some out of his pocket. Alright, we're doing it. Yeah. Your department remains dignified as you shed a single manly tear. Your deportment remains dignified as you shed a single manly tear. It isn't easy for me to ask this of anyone, but I'm at the end of my rope. Any money you have could help me. Sweetie, I only have a few cents on me, but she unfastens a gold commemorative pen from her left jacket pocket and drops it into your palm. I could give you this to pawn. Tide you over. Wonderful, the lieutenant remarks, rolling. He has a pen. The pen is round and slightly tarnished. 3 sailboats in bas relief, with the sun hovering over the water behind them. A chipped green banner at the bottom reads, you could totally sell this ash. I promise I'll buy it back for you once I have one. Oh, it's not an ancient family heirloom or anything, but I suppose it would be nice to get it back. Dishes are drying. They smell of chemical. An aroma of spices, alcohol, and tea. Blue door. You see a heavy steel door with a prominent dimple. You immediately feel drawn to the blue is touch the door. Cobalt blue surface feels rough to the touch. The stainless steel doors. I wonder where this door leads. You do? It's a door in the back of the kitchen. Why do you care where it leads? I'm drawn to its cobalt blue. It is quite pretty. I suppose we could look into it as a side investment. Yes, any side investment. He looks at you, then to the door. Arte is the person to ask about.
Can I help you?
Alright, I think I'm actually going to call it here. And we will pick this up tomorrow. Play some more. With the, with Garte. Cafeteria. We seem to be making decent progress. We've basically explored a good bit of this whole, like, right side of the map here. I don't really know how long this game, like, actually gets, but, about to kind of wrap up our first day. So we'll do that, next I play. Yeah, until then, there's been more of Disco Elysium. Watching you. Peace.